Awesome. Uh, Welcome back to Together Among the Stars. This is session 22, maybe? Anyway, I'm Rick. I'm the game master for Hammer of the Gods. And with me today is our wonderful guest, who we're going to try again. And hopefully, this time with tech support on hand, we can make this work. You want to introduce yourself? You can also
Hi.
introduce yourself, Avi. Thank you. I appreciate your tech support.
Uh, Hi, I'm Christine. I'm Queen Mother GM, and I'm very excited we can make this one work this time. I was so sad we had technical difficulties last time.
I know, me
Uh,
too.
but I mean, that is what virtual gaming is about. If it doesn't happen, then it wasn't a good game.
Yeah, I don't think I've had a single stream that's not had something go wrong.
It's the Murphy's Law for virtual tabletop. Like that's just how that one works.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so before we get started, I've got some announcements. Our first announcement, as usual, our sponsor for today is Canadian Dice. You can go to canadiandice.ca and use the code THEVACTAIR, all one word, at checkout for 10% off your order. And this week, Maggie's pick is Rampage, because Ram goes on rampages, and they have a book of secrets that has pages in it. Maggie, I I, I don't know what that means, but okay. uh, Second is our merch store at tinyurl.com/vacmerch, where you can get awesome designs like Half Orc Energy, Vac Blob. Used to be able to get the Pride stuff, but if you missed it, gotta wait till next year. But third announcement is our schedule. So tonight, the Backpacker's Guide to TTRPGs with Artemis and Emily is at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow, Sunday, Happy and Artemis are over on TM Jeremy's channel for the return of Legacy of Fire at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Monday is Mistwalkers at 8:30. Excuse me. Wednesday, Affy, Sly, Jer, and Artemis, so, like most of the people, are over on Cantrips and Coffee for the Society, the Call of Cthulhu game at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thursday is A Song of Crystal and Shadow at 8:30 p.m. Friday is Fixius 5 at 8:30 also. I don't know why the pause is there. Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, Golden Skies TTRPG one shot with DM Maggie. So I don't I don't know if that's tomorrow Sunday or if that's the Sunday after. Either way. So uh, we'll get started with our game. And if you would like to roll me our first d6 of the game, we will
Absolutely.
see how we spend some time traveling.
I got a 2.
All right.
Um,
So a 2, one of us has trouble sleeping. It doesn't have to be, but usually it's the person who rolls it. What are you worried about, or what's keeping you up?
So my character's name is Cynthia, and I think the acoustics in the room just aren't sitting right. New to the ship and everything's just like the wrong headspace. Just she's very picky about her acoustics, so she's like sticking things into like corners so it doesn't echo so much, or like kind of drown out the sound of the ship a little bit. Maybe like playing my own music and trying to get the right kind of vibe and things. Yeah, I think that's how she settles in. Is like,
I love that we're running with the like bard theme of this.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
So she just can't sleep because she's got the wrong white noise music going on.
Yeah, you've got like the ocean sounds, not like the whale songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like the waves. Yeah. Um, and I'll also have you roll a d6 to figure out how many cards we're gonna draw for our first planet.
Oh, only one.
Okay, that's all right. Not uncommon. So our first discovery, I got a 3, so we're gonna come upon this suddenly. And I've got the 10 no diamonds.
Ooh.
So let's see. Diamonds are living beings, which is always interesting to start off with. And 10 is on a cliff face. So, since we've only got the one card, you tell me, what do you think this planet's like? Is it not very interesting, and that's why we've only got the one discovery, or is it just like that's the one thing that kind of popped up?
I think it wasn't very interesting, and we were kind of ready to like be like meh and walk away, and that's why we came up suddenly and we found people, and we're kind of, I'd be startled. I'd be like, oh, all right.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean the interesting thing about the living beings is it could be all kinds of different things, and because it's on a cliff face, I'm gonna say that this is sort of similar to like Earth's moon, in that there's just not really anything as far as like there's no plant life, there's no variation, not a lot of variation in the features. But as we're just kind of exploring, we're like, okay, well, let's pack it in. We see on a cliff face this like, yeah, we see like it's basically a gigantic hairy spider.
Ooh. Okay. Cynthia is definitely interested in this hairy spider. If it's a giant hairy spider, curiosity, definitely like want to pet it, but also don't want to get eaten. One of those like, struggle. Yeah, the eternal struggle. If I want to pet it, will it kill me?
The answer may surprise you.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely would like start taking pictures and things and like creeping closer bit by bit, seeing what happens as I get closer and closer.
Oh, I mean, Breckett is already recording this for Space TikTok. That's been his obsession here lately. Yeah, so like as he's just kind of like, you see he's on his little like device, his little tablet, and you're kind of creeping closer, and he just sort of starts like narrating this, like, is this new ranger gonna die today?
Yeah, this TikTok could go one of two ways, like nature documentary or like epic fail. Yeah.
It could be both.
I sit there and I count the legs, and I'm like, 1, 2. Is it actually a spider if it doesn't have 8 legs? If it has 9, can we classify it as a spider? Can I still call it a spider? And she starts like rambling a little bit about that as she's still getting closer and nervous.
I mean, that's close enough, right? You round down, I think.
You round down with legs? Okay. All right. Yeah, and she's gonna like she's like taking pictures, and then she's gonna go out and she's gonna try and like touch the 9th leg. Like when she was counting, she's like, this one seems less. She's gonna try and pet it.
Yeah. What happens whenever you reach out and pet it?
I think it runs away. I don't think many things like to be randomly pet by strange other things.
You'd be surprised. I'm sure that was you, Affy, who said the 9th leg is a dick. I had the same thought, but I didn't say it out loud. Like the squid, I think it's squid with their extra long tentacles.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want, you can roll your d6 to examine it further.
Totally.
Before it runs away, of course.
Yeah, as I was like inching in closely, I got a 2.
A 2. All right. So, kind of how we've been doing this. You are welcome if you feel comfortable. If you have stuff handy, you can draw it. If that's something that you don't feel comfortable with doing on stream, that's also okay. And I just usually say like, paint us a word picture, and then Artemis can draw it later.
Cool. Yeah. No, I draw it. Awesome. On my crummy line paper.
Say it works.
Yeah. 9-legged spider.
It's okay. We had this has been quite a while ago, but we had I think it was a 7-legged goat.
Was that the one that you guys ate the other week? You guys had like for breakfast, I remember.
No, this was a couple months ago, and it was, I think we adopted one, but it was terrifying because it had like a vertical slit for a mouth with sharp needle teeth.
Oh, that's terrifying. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't eat that one either.
Like all spoopy.
I imagine this thing is being kind of like flatter to the ground, which is why we didn't really see it at first. And I think its legs have different numbers of joints depending on which leg it is.
Ooh, okay.
And weirdly, I think it has like white-ish hairy fur that stuck to me when I touched it.
Oh, you should probably get that looked at. Just saying.
Yeah.
Usually when stuff sticks to you out in space, it's not necessarily a good thing.
No. This is a horrible sketch, but this is what I had on hand. Yeah. Woo.
Oh no. There we go. I love that. Also, before we hop off here today, if you would send any of these drawings to Afi,
Absolutely.
that way they can get uploaded to the art reel.
Totally. I can do that.
So, do you want to continue on this planet, or since it's kind of boring, do we want to move on to the next one?
It's kind of boring. I didn't nearly die, but I also didn't get a pet, so I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, that tracks.
I think as it runs away, she's like, "All right, be like that then."
Yeah, Brickett's absolutely still filming all of that, like posting that immediately. So I got 5 for our next set of cards. So this next planet's a little bit more exciting.
Ooh, that's fun.
If you're ready to roll for our discovery, we'll go on to the next one.
Yeah. Apparently 2s are the thing of the day. I rolled a 2.
That tracks. So 2 means this is an arduous to get to discovery. We've got the 2 of hearts.
Ooh.
So hearts are ruins, and 2 is under the light of the moon. So we land on this planet, and I'm going to say it's got a lot of moons. I can't remember now which planet it is that has a whole bunch of moons in our solar system, but it's like that, like dozens of moons.
Dozens of moons, okay.
So it is like not as bright as day, but it's pretty well lit.
And they're all in various, like, some of them are full, some of them are quarter, some of them are waning and waxing.
Absolutely.
Spectacular. I've removed the hair that stuck to me. That took a process, and I grumbled about it the whole time. So, sorry, remind me again. 2 of hearts. Runes. Okay.
Yep.
Did you have any ideas for this one?
Not particularly. Usually, I mean, I can definitely, help out if you're stuck on something, but usually I would say, like, whoever rolls for the discovery kind of gives us the initial prompt.
Yeah.
But
No, that's
maybe
cool.
maybe this is a little bit more of a lively planet. There's actually some greenery or whatever color it is on this planet.
I think we found a shipwreck. But it's a spaceship shipwreck.
Yeah. But maybe it looks like a ship, like a human ship.
Fully like Pirates of Treasure Planet Pirates. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Yeah, I think there might be a few of them. I think we found like the Bermuda Triangle of this moon surrounded planet.
Yeah,
I think it'd be really cool to like
Space Bermuda.
Walk through the like, even though it's moons and there are all these different angles, I think there'd be lots of fun like stark shadows and such. to walking through these like shipwreck.
This is quickly turning into the accidental horror episode number 3.
Creepy, I would say. Not necessarily horror. Unless, do you think we find like skeletal remains?
That's a good question. Let me see. I got a 3 for my discovery, or not my discovery, the examination. So, yeah, I'm gonna say a detail that I notice is that, like, we see some skeletons, but it doesn't look like they're dead. More like they're sleeping.
Oh, interesting.
And Brecky's just like, maybe we should just like move on to the next place, because I don't know what's up with these sleeping skeletons, but I'm not a huge fan.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, after like some initial like searching, Cynthia doesn't mind surviving to make another TikTok later.
The subtitle to this show now is "Together Among the Stars: Survive to Make More TikToks."
Absolutely.
Or possibly just the episode title. We'll find out. Let's see. So that was your discovery, and yeah, we'll move on so that we don't get murdered by space skeletons. And I got a 1, so we're gonna put in some more work as we get the Ace of Hearts. So more ruins, and Ace is in a field taller than you. Yeah, since we said this is like the space Bermuda Triangle, I'm gonna say that we find some more like partial ship remains. We also find, because it's always like World War II era for whatever reason, we find some like World War II era airplanes.
Oh, okay.
They just seem to be like floating in the air.
Oh.
So we're on like this plateau, with just this tall grass. I would say almost like a wheat field, and not very far above us. Like, we kind of come up over this ridge of the plateau, and we just see they're not making any sound, but the propellers are turning like they would if it was flying. Yeah, and it's just like a formation of these planes, just kind of floating there.
Yeah, I definitely am like checking my watch and being like, are we in a time bubble or something? Like, are you feeling sleepy?
I mean, I'm always sleepy. That's my secret.
You're like the Hulk. If you don't have, you're always mad.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think Cynthia's very tall, but like she's extra sketched out by this field being so tall and these flying planes and things. But she's also morbidly curious. Like, a part of her wants to like throw something at it. Like,
do it.
Yeah. She goes, oh, wait. I have a pocket for this, and she like opens up a pocket and pulls out a little small, the equivalent to like a space slingshot. It's like a small little kid projectile, and she's gonna like shoot it up at the planes to see if anything happens. I'm not even sure if it'll make it to the planes in the air.
I would say, because I did say they're not very far up, like far enough that we couldn't just reach up and touch them.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, yeah, you could probably hit them with a slingshot.
Totally. I think I do, and I think when the slingshot hits it, it like starts like just slowly like rotating, like like the gravity. I tweaked it a little bit, and now it's gonna be forever like slowly just spinning as it sits there.
So it's like in space, where like if you start off in one direction, you just continue in that direction forever.
Yeah. But my projectile came right back down to the ground, so I'm like, huh.
This is really weird. This planet's, I mean, great for science. I don't understand any of this, but it's interesting.
Yeah. I shoot a couple more projectiles at it, and I'm kind of like, it sounds fun when it hits, though. It's just like ping, ping, ping. But it doesn't make great TikToks, does it?
Oh, this is gold. Bracket's already made like 10.
Oh, I mean, of course it's great for TikTok. She has a terrible TikTok following, and she's trying to get better at it.
It's okay, because if you saw chat, Rory and Gertrude, which is Artemis and Affy's characters, they're just eating popcorn, watching, trying to see, basically if you quit or die.
Yeah. The quitting thing might be possible. The dying thing she's trying to avoid.
That's usually for the best.
This whole time too, she's like playing music in her like helmet or ears or wherever she is. She's always got music going on in the background.
Yeah, Brackett's just ignoring it because whether it's intentional or not, you like broadcast it to everyone in the vicinity.
Yeah. She didn't mean to do it, but she's aware of it and she has not fixed it.
That social anxiety moment of like, I realize I'm doing something wrong, but I'm not going to stop it because that would be acknowledging my mistake.
Exactly. Yep. And you'll just see her like, she'll just be walking normally, then every now and then she like does a little like step in time to the beat and she pretends like no one saw it.
But everyone saw it because Rory also has a drone that follows us around, so they're always watching.
There's just gonna be like a blooper reel for like the random times where I just break out into dance.
Oh, absolutely. Like behind Brackett's back, you just like do a little dance.
Yep. For sure.
And then you realize the drone's there and you just kind of like stop mid-step.
And she just kind of is like, yep, and I'm just gonna keep walking like nothing happened.
If you want to roll an examination on these planes, just to see if there's anything else we want to add.
I might need to switch out my dice. I just keep rolling twos.
Oops, all twos.
So, yeah. Draw the feature. So I drew the boats. Weirdly. I don't know. Was that what, do you want me to draw the field instead?
Well, this would be more like the planes, but...
Sure.
Either way, it's up to you. Yes, whichever of you, Aphamus, said this is the space office. It is the space office, but less cringy.
Wait, is it the space office the American or the British version?
Good question. Probably both. Somehow simultaneously.
So what did we say was, it was the fields are taller than us? What did we say it was again?
Like a wheat field.
That's it, yeah.
And I'm thinking of like the very, the image that basically everybody has of like the World War II kind of era, because all the planes more or less looked the same at that point.
Yeah. I want to say biplanes, but that's a really old. I am not an aeronautics expert.
That's okay, I'm not either. It's just once you said Bermuda Triangle, that's like the thing you always seem to hear.
Yeah, planes and ships from World War II.
Pretty much. I mean, I guess there's a couple of newer things that they kind of say might have disappeared in the area, but really, not a lot disappears there anymore. Weirdly.
Yeah, don't tell me there's more things disappearing there. I don't.
Oh no, it's like once we got satellites watching it, the Bermuda Triangle can only steal stuff if it's not being observed.
Oh, okay. It's like the superpower that it's not really that practical.
Exactly. Yeah. Or it's like the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who. They can only do stuff if nobody's looking.
That's a much better example. Yep. I was thinking of Mystery Men, where
I love Mystery Men. And I love that it was legit. Like, as long as nobody's looking, he's invisible.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to make it look like this one's spinning. Yeah, that's random.
Yeah, going with Athamus's comment, I do think one of the planes looks a little bit different, and we do see that, like, it may not be the Amelia Earhart, but definitely a strong resemblance to her in one of the planes.
Yep. That was not the one that I hit with a projectile, though.
No, I mean, no disrespect to Space Amelia Earhart.
Right? Oh yeah, this is just gonna be a stick figure. There we go. So you know that it's taller than us.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So if you want to
You're very generous.
Next discovery, we'll see what other weirdness we can get into.
I rolled a 3 this time.
Oh. All right. Emilio Earhart. Oh man. 3. So that is something. Where'd that go? Oh, we come upon it suddenly. We've got the 6 of clubs. So clubs are plants and other immobile forms of life, and 6 is on the snowy peak of a mountain. So, I mean, we don't suddenly like end up on a mountain. We, obviously are doing some exploring, but while we're on the peak of this mountain, what kind of plant or immobile form of life do we find?
Definitely mushrooms.
Always mushrooms.
Yeah, definitely something that looks like a mushroom. Except that I think the base of it is like more like a tree. It kind of like creeps out the roots kind of over the top and such. And I think the cap is shorter and flatter, and it's just like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that. What color is it?
I think it's kind of plant-like in that like the trunk part is brownish, but I think the top is going to be kind of like this fun mottled green, and there's like spots of it that are almost neon.
I dig it. It's always mushrooms because mushrooms are great, Athamus. So I got a 2 on my examination. So, if you want to draw this, you're more than welcome. I don't have anything to draw on, or I would attempt to. Or we can leave that for our artist. Either way.
Yeah, I am throwing something that kind of sort of almost looks like it.
Fantastic. I'm gonna say, as Beckett is observing it, actually, how big do you think it is?
I think there's a few of them, and I think they vary in size, but I think like there's kind of like a big central one, and I think it would be like up to your knee, but it's wider.
Okay. Yeah, so Beckett, because it's always mushrooms, obviously goes over and he pokes it with his stick that he's been carrying for several planets now. And it does release like this cloud of spores. But the spores, they start to kind of like conglomerate, and Beckett's like, "Oh, hey, I know these people," and it's like forms into a humanoid-ish form, and it makes like high-pitched kind of sounds that we've kind of determined are basically just gibberish. Like they don't actually mean anything. It's just kind of the sounds it makes. And they communicate through dance.
Ooh, I am all about that. Yeah, I'll start jamming with it too.
Beckett's like, "Oh, no, Cynthia, that's you can't just say that to them."
Oh, and I will be like so embarrassed that I'll be like, "Oh my god, what? How do I apologize?"
They understand us. It's okay.
Oh, sorry. But she'll like try and like dance sorry, and I just continue to like randomly throw my arms and things.
Breck is just like, "Oh god." Oh, this is so embarrassing.
What? What? And then I'm like looking at you to see what dance moves I'm supposed to do. She's fully
Brecca doesn't
asking
dance.
for like a dance lesson.
Yeah, Brecca does not dance. He has zero rhythm.
This would be like an issue between us, since I like music so much.
Yeah, I mean, he would like try, but he's like snapping along, but it's always not on the beat. But it's like also not. It's not like consistent either. It's like weird times. Just cannot get with it at all.
Oh my goodness. What color were the spores and the peoples?
I'm gonna say I've always kind of pictured them as like a yellowish. So I would say probably maybe these ones, because this is like more of a green plant, are like a greenish yellow.
Okay, cool. I'm just throwing some color on this with my amazing art skills. Everyone is so impressed so far, I know.
Hey, I mean, you're doing better than a lot of us who either don't or can't draw it.
That's funny. Yeah, I am thoroughly embarrassed and like just sitting back and watching them now, but also like tapping. I can't not tap my foot. Like,
yeah, and Breck is just like going around and he keeps finding more mushrooms and like poking them. And so now there's just like this whole big dance party going on with the different pollen people.
Oh, I'm so upset that I'm not dancing and that there's a dance party. Like this is not okay. I'm thrilled to see this, but also like sad.
I mean, you could just do what they do. Like they're just kind of saying hello.
Then I kind of start doing that, but get too into it. It's fully like embarrassing.
So you're like the classic dad who embarrasses the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
But I think it looks great. I'm fully like, yeah, no, I'm doing a great job. And I look over to you and I give like a thumbs up.
You're doing like the sprinkler.
Yeah.
All the like goofy dance moves.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I watched this documentary on like retro Earth moves that like people do, and like here's this one, and I do the shopping cart.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Breck is just like, I don't think anyone ever seriously did that, but more power to you.
Yeah. Well, I have a terrible picture, but it is a picture nonetheless. Yeah. That's my mushroom.
I love that. Very colorful too.
My markers died on me, so it is very modeled.
Hey, that works. Yeah, so Breckett just kind of like says goodbye to the pollen people, and we're gonna move on to our next discovery, which is a 6. So we're gonna find this while we're resting, and it's the 10 of clubs. So back to the 10s.
On a cliff?
Yeah, and so plants and other animal forms of life. There's a lot of plant life here. I'm gonna say.
So resting after the dance party?
Huh?
Resting after the dance party?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that we're like kind of at the edge of this cliff. We're just taking a little snooze, a little siesta, and we kind of hear something from down below on the cliff, and just sort of like leaning over, you can see that there's it looks like algae, but instead of with gravity in the air, normally you would think algae would like hang down, but similar to how underwater it sticks up, this sticks upwards, but from the side of the cliff face, like it's going out. Almost as if like if it were underwater, that's the direction that it was
Yep.
growing. Breck is just like, oh, guess there's more landweed. Seems to be a very common theme in the galaxy is landweed.
I'm super interested in, again, that it's like sticking out, and again, I'm like gonna like throw something at it to see if it like moves or waves or if it's like stiff or hard.
Breck is just like backing away, like, okay, go for it.
Do you still have that stick? Can I poke it?
He's like holding it behind his back, like, I think I lost it. Yeah, so as you like throw something at it, you see that what looks like ground around it and like beneath it starts to like move, and it's like this creature that stands and starts walking down the cliff face.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? You saw that,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's what landweed does. Yeah, it walks.
Oh, you should lead with that.
Did you want to examine any further and see what else we can see?
Yeah, I got a 6 this time.
Oh, okay. So, let's see, what was 6 on that one? Oh,
Record
yeah.
how the features change in some way.
Yeah, so how does the landweed creature change?
I think like the landweed that was sticking out like perpendicular to the ground, like basically like sideways gravity. I think when it does that, it flattens, like someone just like parted the hair, and it's like a perfect like middle part now, and it's like as it like moves.
Amazing. And because I'm fairly certain that we've seen this before, but either way, I'm gonna say it like you see it kind of squats for a second and then just like pushes off and then starts to like float down to the ground with its nice
cool
part.
I love it.
It's also got like you see that there's like a little bushel of flowers sort of like towards the front, and Breck is just like, I think that landweed's got a hot date.
That's awesome.
Let's see, so yeah, I think that would be your discovery next.
Cool. 3. You come upon it suddenly again.
And this is the 6 of Hearts.
6 of Hearts. Okay, so mysterious ruins. Okay. And 6 on a snowy peak mountain. I think. Yeah, at first it totally seemed like it was just like ice and snow and things like that, and then kind of clued in that like it's ice that is like shaped into like columns and like little tunnels and things like this, and we've actually come across like ruins of something, but everything is like under 18 inches tall.
Interesting. I didn't realize the pollen people lived in ice, but seems like their kind of architecture.
It seems old though, like it's kind of like crumbling, parts of it are snow filled. I think so. Yeah, I'm totally gonna like stick my head in and like look at one of these tunnels up like this and try and see what I can see.
It's always a good idea.
Yeah.
So I got a 3. So I'm gonna say the detail that we notice, as you're kind of like sticking your head in there, you see that there are things moving in there.
Oh, I take my eye off of it.
Breck's like, oh, let me look. And like as he sticks his head down there, they're very similar to the pollen people, but they seem to be made of snow. So it's just like little snowflakes that have stuck together to make like a humanoid form.
Oh, okay. And do they dance too?
No, they actually, these ones, you see that they've got like made out of snow little like clothing. I can't remember what it's called, but like the old timey British explorers where they've got the helmet, the little like
Oh
wide
yeah.
brim thing. I mean, it's like that. Like they're very much look like the British archaeologist stereotype. They've got like little khaki shorts made of snow. Obviously, it's
The
all
like double button up like that. Yeah. Little
Yeah.
bandolier across. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that seems to be in charge has like this really big like snow mustache.
Spectacular.
And you see like a couple of them are just holding little like snow magnifying glasses. And they seem to be investigating these ruins.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. But they're just utterly ignoring us, basically.
Yeah, they don't seem to have noticed us yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that idea. That like they're investigating their own ruins.
Yeah, and Breck is just like stuck his tablet in there as far as he can, trying to get a better video of it.
Do you add it to the end of your stick? Just like an impromptu like selfie stick kind of thing?
Yeah, Breckett totally invented the selfie stick. Like hundreds, if not thousands of years later. Or
I love it. I think that'll catch on.
I mean, it's brilliant. I'm surprised no one's thought of it before. So that was our last card for this planet. We can move on.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
I forgot to do it last time, so I'll roll for our interplanetary travel. So I got a 2. Oh yeah, so once again, there's trouble sleeping on the ship. I feel like this time it's basically everybody, and it's because we all stay up way too late watching Space TikTok, like as a crew. Just everybody's like showing each other videos, and it's like the equivalent of 4 a.m. space time.
Yeah, so we're like simultaneously doom scrolling together.
Yeah, exactly. Like you do.
Totally. You fall asleep and your thumb is still like.
Yeah, Reggie, our little diamond dinosaur, comes over and like after we're all asleep, he's just like using his nose to keep scrolling.
Suddenly our feeds are just filled with like lizard videos. We're like, man, why do I keep getting these ones?
Yeah, it's just like we would assume that they're very attractive dinosaurs just doing TikTok dances.
Yeah.
Because, why not?
It's like, I don't remember liking a video about how to eat goats with fangs.
Yeah, that's got to be Reggie. Reggie eats everything.
Spectacular.
I think this would be your roll for how many cards. So I'll let
Sure.
you roll that one.
Yep. 3.
3, all right. And I think was the last one your discovery?
Yes. Yep. Because we
lose
came
track.
upon it suddenly.
All right, so I've got a 1 on this first one, and we've got the Ace of Diamonds.
Ooh.
So in a field taller than us, and a living being. And I'm going to say, because 1 is an arduous journey, what's arduous about it is it looks like just like tall grass, very thin, the kind that you would normally be like, oh, that's grass is really sharp, I should probably not walk through it. But as we're kind of making our way through, like you do, because we're explorers, we notice that the ground below us is marshy and wet. So like our feet are just sticking every time. So between the sharp grass and the mud, that's what makes it so difficult. I would say the creature that we come upon, though, it resembles sort of like a T-Rex, but it's got the Stegosaurus stuff on its back. So it's like It's like Godzilla, but much smaller. It's maybe like 8 feet tall, but it also has the little like pokey parts on its tail.
Oh, the spikes.
Yeah, and it's just like munching on the grass at the far end of this field. Like, oh, never seen one of those be a herbivore, but kind of adorable.
It's 8 feet tall, so yeah, it is kind of adorable. I don't have the urge to pet it though, strangely.
Brickett's already going over there with the stick.
I have my tablet out now doing the TikTok video. And there's like some new trending sound that I've already put on the video. It's like, but it's like a fail kind of sound. Like I expect this to go this way.
Yeah, Brickett goes over with the stick and just like he like clears his throat first a little bit to announce his presence, and he like kind of taps it on its like rear haunch, and it just like waves its little like 2-finger hand.
And it's got the short little like T-Rexy arms.
Oh, absolutely.
Spectacular.
If you want to further examine it, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, from afar.
Yeah, of course.
I got a 4, so on the examine, add in detail. As you got close and it waves to you, you see that on its like underbelly side, which was kind of like down because it was eating, it has like a clutch of young that are kind of like hanging onto it on its underbelly.
Interesting. How are they hanging on? I'm curious.
Their little spiky tails hold on, like they spike into the scale somehow, and they kind of, and then their little like claws, and then they can like let go with their claws and like hang upside down like possums, and then they can like pull themselves back up, and just their little fingers, like mom's scales are designed for this. I don't know, or yeah, dad. I don't know.
I love the idea that the baby ones, their tails are like prehensile.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they probably lose that ability a little bit as they get older. And they like grow out their back spines, but
they fully they can pull their own body weight up at that time because they're so small, but as they grow bigger, they can't use their tails for that anymore.
Yeah, Brickett definitely takes out like I'm just gonna say a Snickers because it's the first thing that came to mind. Space Snickers. It says so on the label, Space Snickers. And he like unwraps it and like holds it out for the little ones just to see what they'll do. And I feel like a couple of them come over and they just start like munching on the Snickers.
I think one of them comes over though and just munches on the wrapper.
Yeah,
and just like course. It's just like it's got a strange kind of like, it just looks at you as it does it, like dead eye. It just looks at you and it's like.
Yeah, that one definitely, I feel like, starts climbing all over Brickett, and then like seeing that, I imagine you would probably feel a little bit more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And like come over, and yeah, it's climbing all over you as well.
I'm gonna ask if like Reggie needs like a friend on board the ship. I like whisper it to you, like a.
I mean, I don't know if we can just like take this thing from its parent, but if it just happens to follow us this whole time, it might be coming with us.
I try to like secretly just like put it on your back and like click its like tail spikes into your suit somewhere so that you don't notice it, like Velcro into you.
Ooh, I like that. Like, it doesn't even have to stick like the spine in, but like on the spines, it's almost like Velcro when they're young.
Yeah, it's just Velcro into you. And in the famous things of me, I'm gonna be like, Steve wants to come, and I'm gonna name him Steve.
Perfect. Yeah, and Brickett just like walks on, looking for more stuff and just totally oblivious.
I love it.
All right, we've got 2 more cards. So if you want to roll for our next one.
Oh, yeah. Did I roll the last one? I'm happy to roll again.
Yeah, good, because there's a discovery and the examination each time, so.
Yeah. So I rolled a 1.
A 1. All right, so we're going to put in some more work. And we've got the 3 of clubs this time. So clubs are plants and other immobile forms of life. And 3 is by a gentle river.
Ooh, okay. And it was... sorry. Clubs. Mobile form of life. 3, gentle river. And that is arduous to get to? Or no?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely the marshy ground, like continues, but like it's getting deeper, and it's like that weird like non-Newtonian fluid. So like if you move fast, we can walk on it, but when if we like stand still at all, we start to like sink in, and then it like sticks to your boots, and then you have to like walk quickly, and it'll like break off. Yeah, it's like a non-Newtonian fluid marsh.
What kind of plants do we encounter?
Yeah. I think it's like these weird little like they kind of almost look like seed pods or like a flower bud that isn't open yet, and they're just kind of like swaying on a branch or like on these long reeds. They kind of stick up, but then when you get close, they give out these like little puffs and like these, and then suddenly they open and they look like a banana that's peeled themselves.
I love that. I love that. Let's see. So I got a 3 on my examination. I'm gonna say that the feature that I notice isn't so much about those, but kind of like almost symbiotically with them. There's little clumps of this short grass, but it is like Velcro-y. They're super dark. Almost, actually, I would even say I think the actual name is copyrighted, so not that. But like, if you're familiar, I think it's Vanta Black, the like blackest black.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like so black that it doesn't even process properly in our eyes. And yeah, it's just like super dark, but also Velcro-y.
We just see like swaying voids is what we see basically, and
basically, yeah. Like
that'd be terrifying.
Like little grasses, but as these things give off the little poofs, the little like pollen or whatever sticks to these things, and so it makes it almost like little stars in this void.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
But it would also be terrifying to get this like Velcro stuck to you, and it's like, but it's black as black. Yeah.
Right. Totally fine. Everything's fine.
That's
nothing
so cool.
Spooky here.
I love it.
All right. Well, we've got 1 card left, and I got a 6, so we're gonna take another siesta. Ooh,
nice.
We're getting all the aces today. We've got the Ace of Clubs. We've also had a lot of clubs.
Yeah. So a field taller than you, and it's not a plant.
I would say we kind of are making our way back to the ship. We come across the same like tall grass field, but this time we notice that there is something moving in the tall grass, and we're just kind of like watching it, and it is absolutely the basically the same kind of creature from Little Shop of Horrors. So it's just like this giant cabbage-like thing with a mouth, and it's just like got these sharp teeth and seems to just be like pointing at its mouth. Do you want a space Snickers? Brekket just like tosses that.
Does it like it?
You know, it doesn't hate it. It eats it. And if you want to examine it and see if there's anything else, or, you know.
I got a 3, so another detail. I think it moves like it's like you said, like it's like a cabbage. I think it moves by like it peels back some of its like cabbage leaves to like roll like, and those turn into like legs, but then they get tucked in behind it and just keeps like reforming in and out like this.
I like how this is like a combination of Little Shop of Horrors, but Attack of the Killer Tomatoes as well, where it's like kind of like rolling and like using its little leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like once it's used its leaves as a limb, it like the leaves fold back into the back end of it, and then it comes back out the front, or whatever the front is. I don't know.
Right. That's absolutely bizarre. But I kind of think it needs to come with us. You know, for science, of course.
Yeah. I, as long as it doesn't eat Steve and Steve doesn't eat it, sure. I think that'd be great. Absolutely. Or did you mean for science and it's not a pet? Just curious.
Yes. All of the above. Yeah, Brackett's like he's happens to have another space Snickers, and he's just like partially unwraps it and starts like kind of holding it out, leading this little plant along.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like hang it from your space stick and just like.
Actually, I like that better. He's happens to have just like a little bit of twine, and yeah, he like hangs this half unwrapped space Snickers from this stick, and he's just like dangling it, leading the little plant along.
Steve follows too.
They're
both like
was still Velcroed.
Oh yeah, but you got the space stickers now, so now he's running behind.
Amazing. Yeah, so leading them back to the ship, I'm sure that Rory is all kinds of excited about all of our new discoveries and new friends, and Reggie's definitely excited as he's like trying to eat both of them.
Steve just Velcros himself to the underside of Reggie, so now Reggie's his mom.
That's adorable. And I love that they're probably like roughly the same size, but it still happens somehow.
Yeah. He's got the Velcro in the little claws. He's just like glumped onto him.
Yeah, Artemis, I'm sorry, but we need that picture. That has to happen now. All right, well, that was our last card. I mean, we don't have a time limit. We can continue on if you want, but we're at about an hour now, so.
I've had so much fun. I'm happy to keep playing, but also I know eventually all adventures must end, so I bow to you and the host. What would you like to do?
You know what? Let's roll for one more planet. We'll see how this goes.
Spectacular.
And that's when I get a 6. So we got 6 more cards. And if you want to roll for our first discovery.
3. You come upon it suddenly.
And it is the 4 of diamonds.
4 of diamonds, okay.
Living beings. Mm-hmm. And 4 is in a steep canyon.
Oh. I think they're definitely flying. Something flying. They almost resemble like paper. They're so thin. But they're long and kind of they don't crinkle like paper, instead they like their motions are very smooth and flowy, and they're just kind of like they fly from like wall to wall. I think they have like 6 kind of wings and a very thin body, and I think they're like a pale blue against this like very earthy.
Interesting. My first thought was the little like paper bird things from, I think it's Spirited Away.
But yeah.
Same kind of concept, but a little bit fancier.
Yeah, just a couple more wings, that's all. And and different color. But yeah. They're just kind of, you can see them kind of like flying to each other, and then they kind of like just, they press themselves against the canyon wall just like Spirited Away. They do.
That is fantastic. So I got a 5 on my examination, so I think Breckett's just got like his binoculars, his space binoculars out, and like looking at them really closely. Um, and we noticed they're like passing something. It almost looks like it's hard to tell, through the binoculars, but it looks like maybe a little scroll. And they subtly change color as they pass it from one to the other. Like they get a little bit darker, just a like fraction of a shade darker as they pass it along.
Oh, interesting.
I think these are like male birds.
Oh. Like carrier pigeons kind of thing?
I didn't even think about that, but yes. Absolutely. Cool. These are like space paper pigeons.
I love it.
That's interesting. Do you think we could catch one?
When you asked that, she had been taking first like these kind of artistic pictures because they're just really pretty against the background, and then she like had turned the camera around and done like a selfie. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, I have a pocket for that," and I'm gonna like reach into like a pocket zipper sort of thing, and I've got this like basically just like a sheer net that I'm like, throw this up and try and catch one.
I love that they're far enough away that Breckett's using space binoculars, and then Cynthia's just like that.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I got this. You have to figure out how to get it up there. That's.
Well, the way I saw it, I kind of figured like we were looking down into this canyon, and cool. So I think Breckett just like takes the net and he just like yeets it off. That's how you do nets, right? But it does manage to catch like 4 of them.
Okay. So this net with 4 of them falls to the bottom of the canyon, and I go, so you're gonna get my net back?
And Brecket just like holds up a finger, and you see like jetpacks down, grabs the net and these 4 little things, and then jetpacks back up. It's like, yeah, I got it.
You had a jetpack the whole time we were walking through the marsh things on the last planet?
I mean, science.
She just kind of shakes her head.
Which is what he says when he doesn't understand something or have like an answer. So often.
That's spectacular.
Yeah, I would say like 2 of these little things, like as we open the net up, 2 of them just like take off immediately. But we managed to like get the other 2 back to the ship to study.
Awesome. Did we get the mail with them too? Were these ones carrying anything?
Ooh. You know what? I would say one of them has a little scroll.
Awesome. Yeah. Part of me feels bad about the message that someone will never get. Be like, but that wasn't important.
I mean, we got 2 of them. Maybe we could give one of them the little scroll and send it on its way.
Yeah, and suddenly she's like, yeah. But she wanted a pair because they were cute.
Or we could just like Brecket like takes the little scroll and sets it on the edge of the cliff and then just walks away.
It'd be funny if you just like yeeted that too and like hope something caught it.
Yeah, maybe like he sets it down gently and like starts to walk away, and then he just like as Cynthia turns around, he just like kicks it off.
I love it.
Just very subtly.
Yeah.
Totally sneaky.
Oh, good! It got picked up already.
Yeah. Yep. Totally did.
And she starts walking away, but dancing.
Like you do. So I got a 6 on the discovery this time, and we've got the 3 of hearts. So a ruin by a gentle river, and we're just kind of like taking our siesta again because that's just what we do. I'm gonna say we're sort of relaxing by this river. Maybe at the far end of the canyon, there's just like a river that ran through the whole canyon. And we don't notice it at first, but sort of like built into the wall. It almost looks like an archaic Earth computer, like, you know, back in the day when computers were the size of a building, like that kind of computer. So it's just like made of rock, just like carved into it, possibly. Yeah, and it just looks like this supercomputer.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so it looks like a computer, but it's made of rock.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be staring at it for a while and like kind of like slowly just like turning my head as I examine it. I think I rolled a 2, so I'm supposed to draw it.
Have fun with that.
Yeah, that'd be kind of really cool. Is there anything that lights up on it?
Yeah, I think like Cynthia's just kind of like staring at it. Breckett's, you know, obviously making some space TikToks. And then as he gets bored of you know, recording all this video, he goes over and he starts poking buttons. Or what looks like buttons. And yeah, it does. We see that there's some sort of like tape in it, also made of stone. And weirdly, some of the rocks do light up.
Oh, kind of like a crystal rock.
Yeah,
kind of like
it looked pretty like brown and uninteresting at first, but as he like presses different buttons, there's like red and green and white.
I like it.
And he's just like, I really hope that these don't do anything ominous, because I'm just pushing random buttons.
I was gonna say, does the ground like shake a little bit? Do you hear a vibration?
Oh, absolutely. Does he stop? No. I feel like after a while though, just like this little ribbon starts. It makes, you know, the like
the ticker tape kind of thing.
Well, I was thinking, what is the printer paper where it had the little stuff on the edges you had to tear off?
Yeah, where it was perforated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like prints out like that, and it kind of looks like possibly a star chart.
Ooh. Did you just like uncover like a supercomputer astrology? Is it giving you a horoscope?
Breckett's like looking at it, and then he realizes he was holding it upside down, and his Babelfish translates it, and it's like telling him about his star sign.
I kind of giggle a little bit, and I'm like, so, finding love this week?
Yeah, from a dinosaur apparently.
Aw, Steve does love you. That's sweet.
It's weirdly specific. It even says my name.
I laugh, but also I'm a little bit creeped out by that. Yeah. This is the weird supercomputer. It's very abstract. Oop.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Fighting with Athamus in the chat because they're talking about amoebas again. Breckett is like deathly terrified of amoebas.
I can't imagine why. Nothing bad ever happens to amoebas.
Right? Nothing at all. Yeah, so I guess it would be your discovery next.
All right. Ooh, a 6. So we continue to rest.
And we've got the 7 of hearts, so we've got more ruins.
Okay. Near a volcano.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
I think we followed the supercomputer kind of like conduit, and then we just kind of like continued to rest. And that's when we realized that it's not like a big like mountainous volcano, but rather there's kind of like a fissure in the ground, and then we kind of see some magma bubble up from it. And I think we found like the power source for this computer.
Is the magma the power?
Yeah, kind of like it like bubbles up and then like into this conduit, and it actually is like flowing through these rock conduits somehow.
I love it. Yeah, I feel like. Well, actually, let me roll and we'll see. Oh yeah, how it changes in some way. I got a 5, so I would say we noticed that there's like these crystals, like these big quartz-like crystals, sort of along the edge, the rim of this volcanic mouth, and they seem to kind of fluctuate, different colors, seemingly with the energy as they're like possibly transferring it to this supercomputer. But also, the longer we stand there, we also see that from the center of this volcano, something starts to like bubble and rise out of it, and it's a space Waffle House. Because that's the most common place to find Space Waffle House is in a volcano.
Yeah. Spectacular.
I just love watching the reactions because we've definitely been to Space Waffle House in a volcano before, and so they should not be surprised at all.
Is this one owned by the same chain of people?
No, this one actually, like, as we get closer to it, it's got a little thing on there that says who owns it, and it's not pronounceable by like, human vocal cords.
So you find out that your points card won't be accepted here.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
Shucks, you were 2 waffles away from a free one.
I mean, I'll just start a new card. One for every Space Waffle House.
Spectacular.
And you see he's just got like a pocket that's full of Waffle House cards.
I almost imagine it like springing open like an Inspector Gadget like pocket, and he's like,
yeah, and he's just like shuffling to pick them all up, like dusting them off.
That one almost fell in the lava.
Well, yeah, you know, weirdly, Space Waffle House still accepts them if they're slightly burnt.
Oh, well, that makes sense. That does sound like a hazard of like the points card system.
All right, so that is that discovery. So I guess that would be my role since that was my addition to it. Cool. We got to actually get off the night crew and put in some work because I got a 1. And we've got the Jack of Clubs. So we know because we've had like most of the clubs now that they are plants and other mobile forms of life, and Jack is in the desert. So we have just like it's not even that it's a difficult journey, it's just a really long journey as we're just kind of like walking through, and it just gradually becomes more and more sandy and desert like. The vegetation gets more and more sparse, and I would say what we come across is there's like this dip. The ground gets a little bit more hard and compacted, and just like this weird little dip in the ground, and in the middle of it is this gigantic aloe plant.
Oh.
But it is like I would say it's like orange and purple.
Oh, spectacular. A giant plant in the desert makes me nervous. Definitely.
Well, the last couple that I saw were just drugs, so it's probably fine.
Did you say drugs?
Yeah, that's part of science.
Okay. Is this something you experiment on with yourself, or is that what Reggie's for?
I plead the fifth. I think I'm using that Earth term right. I don't really know what it means, but I read it in a book somewhere.
I'm going to examine the plant. I got a 5. Sorry, I got a 6, but yeah, 5 and 6 are the same. But you said 5th, so that got stuck in my brain.
It happens.
Record how the features change in some way. You said it's orange and purple?
Yep.
I think as we sit there and we watch it for a while, it starts to, like, the colors start to slowly, like, cascade. Like, the oranges are going to slowly turn into purples, but it's, like, super, super slow. And eventually all the orange will become purple and all the purples will become orange.
Interesting.
But it's, like, a really slow kind of, like, ombre sliding. Like, at first you're kind of, like, you're not sure if, like, our eyes are catching it right. And then it over time you're like, no, it is changing color.
I like that. I feel like as we're also just kind of like watching it, there's not really been a breeze or anything. You know, it's kind of miserable and hot, but it's a dry heat, so it's not as bad as it could be. But just this breeze does kind of blow through as we're sitting there, and it almost makes like a similar to wind chimes, but a little bit more melodic, like a more intentional kind of melody.
Ooh. Yeah, I'd be into that then, for sure.
Yeah.
So, like, wind chimes, like, something's, like tapping against each other, or is it, like this sound of, like, wind moving through to make a noise?
It seems like it could be a bit of both. Like, maybe the way the wind goes through the little, like, spines on it, and then also just the way that the individual, I don't know, if they're branches or the terminology there, but whatever, the little arms of it, like as they kind of bonk into each other, they make different tones.
I like it. That's cool. I'm imagining like those bamboo like wind chimes, like the But it'd be cool if it was metal, like the sound of it, like yeah. I turned you on like. Is it alright if I dance to this one?
I mean, there are no pollen people around, so
okay.
I'm sure that's fine.
Do you dance more when it's a drug thing?
Again, I plead the fifth. And as Beckett goes over there and like kind of like snaps off just a little, like the tip of it, it is sort of like a metallic skin, but inside it is super juicy. Like it is just packed with liquid.
Awesome. Like the aloe, like it just kind of like oozes a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm kind of swaying to the music, but I'm fully gonna watch and see if you like ingest any of it.
Oh, he definitely like sticks it to his tongue and then just kind of like walks away. But he like fully turns around, but you can see he's obviously moving his arm towards his face, so he's not being subtle at all. But he thinks he is.
Spectacular. That's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know, the metallic skin, like I imagine it like I just in the back of my mind I'm like, that can't taste good. Can it?
Unless it's like the plant is almost the equivalent of a thermos for the little stuff inside, so it's probably fine.
Probably fine.
Yeah, so I think it would be your discovery next.
Alright. A 1. Arduous to get to.
And we've got more plants. The 5 of clubs.
Okay. So it's in a treetop. Ooh. I think we at the top of this tree is on the edge of the leaves, which for this tree every leaf is like a different shape. Like none of the leaves are the same. Like they're all weirdly strange organic shapes. And on the very edge of it are these tiny little like parasitic plants that grow on the leaves, but they are like perfect crystal shapes. So if you've ever seen like hoarfrost on a like yeah, it looks like that, but they're plants. So there's little tiny crystal roots going into the leaves of these like. But the problem is that the tree, all the limbs are very flexible, like they're almost like rubbery. So trying to climb up it is like a weird like fun house kind of thing of like you grab something and then it like stretches to a certain point, so you have to like. So
Rick is definitely filming all of this.
Yeah. It's like trying to climb a rubber ladder, basically, to get up this tree to the leaves to be able to see these plants.
This went from spooky to Three Stooges real quick.
Basically, yeah.
So I got a 4 on my examination. I'm gonna say the detail that we notice is this like parasitic plant. It seems like that kind of stiffens out the branches where that is. Like it's not everywhere. And so eventually, Cynthia's able to like see, oh hey, these ones are a little bit more sturdy, and you're able to get up there and study it a little bit more closely.
Oh, that's super cool. I think even like the leaf that has like them like the closest part to the crystals is like I can actually like snap it off. It actually like breaks off like a chunk, like it's brittle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fully going to take a few and put them in like a container or something like that. But when you hold them up to the light, I think it's like really pretty. It's like super prismatic.
That tracks. That's definitely a common theme as well.
And I will lick it because you licked something. So.
Perfect. So now we're both high on space drugs. All right, well, in a also common theme, I got another 2 for our last discovery. This time we've got the 5 of spades. And I don't think we've had any spades so far. So,
no.
Spades are natural phenomena. And, yeah, I said 5. So, in a treetop. I would say while Cynthia is up in this tree, you notice that kind of coming from the top of it is this looks like electricity, but it doesn't seem to actually affect you in any way. It just kind of like flows past you. You don't get the like tingle of electricity or anything. And as Beckett throws his stick up there, it just kind of passes right through it.
It looks like lightning?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
And it just like kind of crackles out of the top of it.
Oh, that's super cool. I like that. I'm gonna examine it. I got a 3. Add some details. You said it was coming from the tree?
Yeah, like almost from the very like top of it. And it seems like, there's not a ton of other trees, but it seems like it reaches out and connects the trees to each other.
I think I can't remember the name of it, but I think I pick up that there's like a musical note to it. What's that like? Where you can like use electricity to make sounds. I
feel like I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, so it's like that. Like there's this like low kind of like hum as the electricity kind of goes, but it seems tonal. Like it doesn't seem to like mismatch. It actually seems like go up in thirds or something like this, and then down and then up. Like there's a pattern to it.
Interesting. It's weird how that works.
So I think as she's like picking the plants and stuff, and now that she's licked them, she's totally like bobbing her head to this tune that maybe only she gets picked up on.
Yeah, Beckett does not notice anything. He's just like, and like making notes in his tablet, like, Cynthia is high.
High up in a tree. She's just
the
like,
auto tune effect there was perfect. All right, well, that was our last card. I think that's a good place to call it for the day. Thank you for coming and playing. It's been a blast. And
Yeah.
Abby, thank you for being tech support and running stream since I was not able to properly do it today. So
Always appreciated. Yep.
I don't know if we have anybody we're planning on raiding today. It does look like Warlocks and Waffles is live. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for coming out and thanks for coming and playing.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite and thanks for Take Two. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. So stick around for the raid.
Absolutely.